All right, here we are.
Here we are at the Glass Academy. Still winter because I have my winter boots on and my hat.
It's getting ice cold out.
Florida was really nice, but yes, the reality is we are back home and it is not sunny and 80.
Yep.
But that's okay.
Michigan winter.
Okay, here we are.
We're going to give another shot to the lampshades, folks.
Because what happened with these?
Well, if you take a look at them, they're too small.
Oh, dun 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 dun.
Aw.
So then my question becomes too, why, what your color choices? The wood is a soft wood. It's got reddish tones. What type of light are you looking for in your light?
I'm going to be looking for flames is the
Okay.
light. And I like yellow tone light a lot more, so that's going to be what's going to come out of flames and whatnot. That one was a lot closer. It does look like a tomato. I don't like the color, and it's got to be wider on the bottom, so a wider opening, and that means chopping off more of it. And if you guys see here, I was kind of learning it was a different saw than I was used to because of the width of this sphere. I couldn't get it under the normal saw, so it was a littler saw, and I was going around and going around until it popped off, and it was just really tough to keep it on the line. And that's not a huge deal. This one was a little bit better. But
Gotta learn somehow.
And this will be covered up because it's going to be sitting in there, so it's not too huge of a deal. And I'll probably give a taper to the side here so it sits flush, because that's got kind of a concaved base to it too. It's pretty cool looking with the ribs on it though. See what we're talking about with cracks in the glass, in the bar color. When we put on that big chunk of red, there must have been a little crack somewhere because there's a little tiny bubble right there. Or maybe it came from when I encased it with the clear, came from the furnace perhaps.
Why round shape? If you want flames, do you want to make it flamey?
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is make a ball like that, about that size or so. And then I'll have you start bringing over bits of glass that we're gonna lay on it, and then I'll heat up the whole thing and pull it up taller so that it's more of like a bonfire.
Remember the fire you made for the corn dog?
Yes.
That would look really cool because with that base like that, it would look like a campfire.
You mean like flames coming out like this?
Yeah.
And then something in the middle or something?
Yeah. Like a ring of fire.
That would be interesting. I'd have to think about how to get it on there, because right now he's got these 3 hooks that will, when something goes on here, I can screw outwards and it'll pull it tight from the inside. So if it was something like that, I'd have to think about it, sleep on it, and then come back to it on the next experimental show.
So you did not hunt these. Your neck was over here.
Right.
And so then you cut it further up.
Right.
Okay, so no punting.
So that's the plan, and I think by laying down some hotter bits on the side here and starting to drag them up, making this thicker, when I do a good heat and pull the whole thing, it'll kind of pull this nice and even and pull it to a top. But it's experimental, so we're gonna see. But color-wise, these are the 4 orange, 2 oranges, a red and a yellow. And I'm thinking for the first couple bits, Mom,
Yes.
red with a little bit of that on it. The next couple, orange with a little bit more orange. The next couple, orange with a little yellow, and we'll build it up to the top.
And what size bits am I doing?
Probably gonna be like that big, like 2 gathers for sure.
2 gathers. All right.
Pretty big.
I can do it.
Alrighty, here we
I
go.
have
So
complete
you'll
faith.
pick up that orange on top of the hole, and I'll get a bubble going for the overlay.
What am I doing?
Picking up some orange on top of the hole,
Oh. I was like,
bar color.
half the whole. This is clear?
That's recycle. And I got the jumbo pipe out again. We're gonna see how it works. Can you focus on that little thing?
I'm trying. There we go.
Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo. Perfect.
So one of the reasons I just kind of didn't understand what he was saying is the color's not up here. It is if we have, it's only up here if we have a one and done kind of project. Usually it's in the garage. So I couldn't understand it when he said on top of the hole. It was making no sense to me.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
But I didn't set up, so that's why. And oranges and reds are notorious for you think they're hot enough, then you go towards the glory hole, you push it in, and the thing
Explodo.
sitting here gently at the doorway until I see that it's not exploding.
And once I get this bubble in here, I noticed a few more bubbles, little tiny bubbles laying on the surface of the clear. So I'm gonna go ahead and head over there, set this down for a second, and rake the furnace. Scrape all the bubbles off the top, push them to the back of the furnace so that there's no bubbles. A potato?
Oh, you do a potato to do the bubbles?
Oh yeah, jam potato in there. I think that's to stir up the pot from the bottom, because all the moisture comes out of the potato and then it starts the cyclization of the glass from the bottom to the top.
Another Jakeism.
You know.
You know.
Feels early in the morning right now. That one just came out real easy.
So the other thing about these colors is they're very stiff, and this is going to take a minute.
Yep.
So we can have a conversation. How was your morning?
Pretty good. Skipped breakfast.
You skipped breakfast?
Yeah, I did
That's
laundry instead.
Not a good thing to do.
I know, I love breakfast too.
Because you're going to get all hangry.
I know.
You got some time here.
I'll go rake the furnace. We need this bubble to get cold too, so it's good that we have time. It's lined up correct. So I can just set it here, and it's cold enough that it's not really moving, so I got a second. Well, you guys have seen our trusty rake before. Get up in here. Get those bubbles gone. Close her up.
This is just cooling down the glass. It's going to heat faster. So I can make it like super, super cold so I can just heat the red. Whatever. Says it's orange.
Orange.
So another thing that can happen is you can do a layer of white underneath.
Extra vibrancy.
Well, then it makes it like a unit that's glowing versus pushing out light, right? So it depends when interviewing customers for lampshades, what type of light are they looking for?
Right.
Ambient light, just like something soft and glowing like a salt lamp, or are they looking to turn a switch on and light the whole room? And then light bulbs, you can do LEDs, you can do a small bulb that like you see that's a decorative bulb, or you can just do a normal bulb. Do those
Yeah, I got some
candelabra
options. I
bulbs.
think I gotta find a, what was it, other bulb?
Candelabra ones that look like the top of a candle.
It's gotta fit in this guy, but we're gonna see. I mean, different shapes of bulbs too would be different. Depends on the transparency. This is gonna be pretty opaque, but the flames at the top are gonna start getting more transparent. So, yeah, we're just gonna see.
And this is a standard.
Want me to give it a heat?
Why? I haven't shaped it yet. I'm still letting the core get hot.
Okay.
Do you want to take over, Jake? You can take over. Everyone gets all particular.
It's a big piece of orange. It was bigger than the red. I thought that red was gonna be completely opaque, but it blew out thin enough that it was transparent. So I'm thinking this one's gonna be completely opaque, which hopefully, I don't know, I guess it just depends on the bulb.
Well, you can always sandblast the inside.
Never thought about
You
sandblasting.
could paint the inside. I don't know how that would work. That's why we do white on the inside.
Right. I mean, sandblasting would be potentially pretty cool for any certain style that we go with.
This is the heavy pipe.
It's a big boy.
So, type rocking. Did you catch our video? We went to see our friend who's a type rocker, Lake Willenda in Florida. And it's about this thick. He has a pipe. It's on the high wire. The pipe makes you go more on the wire. So you're like pushed down on the wire. It was pretty cool. I mean, it was a good 50 pounds. And then he said it slows down reaction time. So if you get unstable, it's not a whoa, like falling off. It's like it comes down the pipe and you have reaction time. It was really interesting. I learned all these types of roping facts.
Yeah, usually those things are super long, aren't they?
I didn't realize how heavy they were, though. He had 3 different ones. They had 3 different weights.
For different heights or different thicknesses of rope, maybe?
I don't know. Do you want me to do anything to this?
I think it's going to be perfect.
Okay.
It's the old super heat. This has got to get a little colder still. Cute little bubble.
It's so tiny.
Aww.
A little baby.
So we're about to, this one's going to be airing this weekend, Sunday, which means that Sunday is our last day that we're open. We're taking a week off.
You're not supposed to say that now.
No? Never mind. Never mind, folks.
Do you want
All
to
right, let's do it.
You said you wanted it hot. Yes, they're hot.
Perfect.
Your core is still not so hot.
Well, let's see how that does. Also the overlay.
So this is orange, but it's still hot and it's a lot of color, so I'm just gonna pull it out.
Should have wiped the marber first, but it looks like I got saved. Nothing on there. It's the worst when you spend all that time for bar color, especially like white. You're making white lampshades, and you go to the marber and some piece of dust or any piece of color on there just melts into the white. It's treachery. I got that pushed down almost right to the pipe. Just need one more heat on it. And once I squish it down on there, we got to let it cool down. I'll puff the bubble out again a little bit. And we're going to gather over it.
I have to say it's a lot harder to handle the camera than it looks.
Yeah.
This makes it look very smooth and easy.
Awesome.
But actually doing it is, a little stressful.
There's like 4 or 5 different angles you can be working and everything.
Yeah.
It's like anything, it just takes practice and know-how, experimentation.
Boom. That's the orange. See some swirls in it. Sometimes that's just the way it's melting or striking. Sometimes it means there's something going on. We're going to see. Nice stringer.
Yeah, I'll use it for our next experimental show.
All right.
So they'll be cumulative. All right, we're warm now.
Yeah, I regret wearing a sweater this close too.
I know. All right, time to shed some layers.
Not sure this is going to be enough glass, but
I was gonna say, are you
Whatever.
taking another layer on top? You could drip a layer. So if I'm doing the yellows and oranges, can I move them to the other marker or leave them here?
if you want, it's hotter at the hole here, but wherever you're
Yeah.
comfortable with it.
All right.
Suddenly it feels like Florida in here.
I know.
Yeah.
I should watch
Heats
what I
up
say.
fast.
Started out cooler.
It's hard to translate that across the camera, like to the viewers.
The
How
heat?
it is frigid in here, and what, 10 minutes later?
Yeah.
When I worked at the
Starting to get
head,
warm.
the buckets would have ice in them, and we'd be in front of the furnace blowing. So it's like
It's insane.
doesn't quite work.
Did you work in the the old timey part? Like,
Yeah, it was splash top, and yeah, it was cool. You'd look out the window, and you'd see sheep running around, or people dressed up in period clothing. It was pretty cool, and it was really designed well, the building, so that airflow went through it, so you'd get all the breezes, and in the winter when no one was there, it was really nice. Quiet, little glass.
I have to admit, I haven't been there since grade school.
I drive.
Yeah,
I got a
I
little
drive
air.
by there to come here, but what?
Little air. Hello. Good.
I think that's what happens in Michigan, though. People live here and they're like, I don't need to go to the Henry Ford. I've been there. But there's
Yeah.
so much that happens. So there's workshops and classes.
Yeah. That was pretty
Johnny
cool.
Depp's costume. You know, like just
Yeah, I love that they have the rotating exhibitions there.
the math exhibit.
Well. Good.
Mathatasium or something. It's math, but it's art. It's pretty cool.
One more puff. Good. All right. It might be big enough. I think I left it wider on the bottom so that I just got to chop it less. And I think the width of it is going to be,
Where are your calipers?
yeah, I don't think it's big enough. But if we blow it any thinner, then it's not going to work. It might just explode. So let's just make a cool, flamey looking piece
You could always make another base, like make something else
out of it. Yeah.
Okay, so start now. 2 gathers.
Yeah, 2 gathers, like a.
You told me, and
Yeah,
then the dip,
red
and
and
how are you
spots.
putting them on? Where do you
I'm
start?
just gonna lay them like this.
Okay, so I know where I'm going.
Start building it up.
So we have a surprise for everyone. We told them there wouldn't be a show on Tuesday,
Ah, yes.
but there is now. A brief one.
Ah,
I didn't have much time.
a little something,
A
something.
little something, because we can't just not have anything.
That's true. People expect the Tuesday night action, the shenanigans.
Exactly.
Well, that should be pretty cool. We'll be watching it. Could all watch it together, comment on it together.
Yeah, with the live chat and everything, you could go in there and talk to everybody while they watch it.
I like that.
That's what I've done the last few videos.
Take the other side of the show. I want to give myself a little something to,
Looks like a traffic cone.
yeah, or kind of like a onion. Now I got a little more room to lay it down and it'll grow a little taller instead of just whatever else was gonna happen.
Do you want me to marble this, or you want it straight?
That's probably gonna be perfect.
Oh, that's what I like to hear. All right, ready?
Yes.
Oh no.
And I can take a gather on top of this?
Yeah, you can just go right over that, yep. I'll just get that right out of here. Those are my shears. So it's gonna be one of those things kind of like snowmen or penguins where it looks really weird until the very end. And I'm thinking I'm gonna start laying them down, building up the color. But then once we do the final full heat and stretch it up tall, it might start to make a little more sense. It's looking quite turnipy.
It looks like the floaties in your eye. Like those little, you know, those little things you can see?
In your eye?
Yeah, like in your vision, those little floaty things. Just me? All right.
Floaty things?
Better
in
check the
where?
doctor out, Sam.
Floaty things in your eyes?
Yeah. You know the floaty things?
Yeah, if I
You
eat
do?
too much, yeah.
I think you just have to unfocus your eyes like those magic eye posters and then you see them.
Huh.
I don't know how to describe it. Like when I eat a lot of white flour, it feels like I get these floaty things. Same color pattern as the first one.
We could just do, let's see.
Those two were the same.
Yeah, we could go down the line, the other two now.
Okay.
Orange with orange.
You remember in school looking at stuff under the microscope and it was like swimming around?
Yeah.
That's what floaties look like. Sorry, I had to think of a way to.
Describe it.
Yeah.
So the doors on the furnace, they have handles on them so Jake can open the door as he needs to. And then I shut it now to maintain that heat. Because as you do bigger pieces, it's like opening your oven at home. If you're making cookies or pizza, you open that oven too long and all your heat leaves.
It also melts your camera person.
Yes, yes it does. Thanks. It's gonna be a little bit vortexual.
All right, this is why when we do our gathering point show, we have 3 of us,
Yeah.
4 of us, so we keep talking, and your bits come faster.
Yep.
That's
I need
okay.
a
I can
This
talk about
is-
eye floaties
Yeah,
more.
you can talk, Sam.
Talk about iPhone?
Eye floaties more.
Oh.
Make the whole show about it.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. If I had anything to add to the iFloaty conversation, I would.
I would say it's like your eyes get dry too. Would you agree on that, Sam?
Yeah, I would say that kind of checks out. I see them more when I have my glasses on than my contacts.
feel them more than I see them. Keep it coming.
Yeah, let's do one with the orange and the yellow, and we'll take a look at it.
Okay.
Nice long heat. I guess I could do one of these.
That is a lot of glass. Is it heavy?
It's pretty heavy right now, but it's also pretty thin. That bubble was
Behind
blown
you.
out pretty thin in the beginning, so it's not
True.
too heavy.
Oh, but it's a desk lamp. It's not like it's hanging in the air.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be sitting on the wood.
I'm going to back up because the camera just blinked.
Ah.
See, that's what I keep telling Uncle Dennis. Scoot back. You don't realize that it gets hot.
It's hard. You get mesmerized by the hot glass and you just
I
kind
understand.
of go to it.
Just can't control yourself.
I
can't.
understand, but you got to control yourself. That's why we draw the line on the floor, so that in the best moments, it doesn't conk out on us. Do you need the big torch for your moil at all?
Nah, it's looking pretty good.
All right, 1 second. So I will say, coming in today, after 18 years of having Batch greet us every day,
It was a little
it
strange.
was a lonely entrance.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna start building up some heat on it and just seeing what happens.
The colors look great. We can show the colors up.
What's that?
The colors look great.
Sweet. You're seeing them because you're dunking them in the water.
I will actually bring them over.
Wonder how much gravity I can just use for this scenario instead of tooling it out.
Yeah, if you just spin really fast, won't it start to kind of swirl?
It wouldn't swirl, it would flatten, it would kind of pancake out if I spun fast, but I'm thinking
Oh,
about
yeah.
just heating it and dangling it down. Ooh,
Oh, cool.
Colors are nice.
popping and cracking. Sweet. It's a nice squeak.
People ask sometimes if it's heavy, if it's hard to blow glass. Something like this gets heavy. But it's not super hard if you know what you're doing. It's leverage, just like tightrope walking.
I'm gonna take a little puff of air on this one.
I do that.
It's also hard not to get distracted, like looking
What's
at.
going on?
You have to look through the camera.
I know. It is a little bit tricky. And also it's daylight, which is nice. Our gathering points have been at night. So the sun is, now it's nice daylight, nice and quiet in the studio.
Oh, brother. All right. Well,
This is it. There's no turning back now.
I mean, this is it. I'm not really even sure what to do with it.
Do you want to like push in the sides and get some texture to
I
it?
was gonna marver it one more time and see, but
I
the
mean,
mo-
it's pretty round. If you wanted it flame-like, I could hold it down and you could use the tagly and push in certain areas like a flame. Does that make sense?
yeah, does make sense.
I mean, get creative, Jake.
Experiment.
Have fun with it. I think that would look cool if you did that. You know what I mean? It's not like, do you want me to take your shirt off and show you the back of your shirt, how the flame looks?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to give it a heat, it's kind of, the bubble's thin, so it's a weird kind of heat mass.
It is. I'll hold it straight up and down.
Okay,
I was
on the
holding
bench,
it
or?
like this.
Oh,
So like it's falling down and you're pushing it in. Does that
okay.
make sense?
Yeah, it sounds cool.
Goodness. Even that, it's already more flame-like, not so roundy.
Yeah. Curious how it's gonna sit on the bottom though. That looks good. Cool.
Did you feel like Dale Chipley there?
Yeah, I did.
See, that looks way more flame-like.
Totally. Looks good.
That's what the experiment.
I don't know about the base is what I'm wondering. How you get the base wider to sit on there.
Well, that's something you gotta do sooner. I mean,
How about just a little puff of air on this one, and I'll keep hitting it with the tag. Well, good.
maybe maybe the things that hold the shade in place are on the outside. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, you could cut in little notches and have that be part of it on the outside. So this is a good example of designers working with the craftsman to make it together. Had Cedric known, maybe he could do something on his end,
Yeah.
right? You don't know until you get started. That's why we do the experimental shows.
Is there any way to reverse the little shark teeth?
Like
little prongs?
turn them the other
If
way.
you turn them the other way, you could grab the outside.
Yeah.
I like that, the shark teeth.
I couldn't think of the word prong.
They're pretty much shark
I like
teeth.
shark teeth.
All right, blow. Good. It's more
This is
symmetrical.
so out of context for Jake.
Yeah.
It's not symmetrical. You can hear the taglia. Let me just heat it for a second so you can look at it. You can hear the taglia on the glass, so that tells us that the taglia is cold, so it won't stick to the glass.
If you took the tweezers and pulled in a few random places so that it was more like spiky, maybe it would look more like what you're envisioning.
Sometimes
Yeah.
just stepping away from it for that brief minute allows you to see a different perspective of it. I think once you cut it, you'd be surprised. You might be just fine there. And I think if the teeth prongs, you can try them different ways.
I think it looks pretty good to me. I think it's another interesting experimental piece that we can assess the situation after the fact. Take a good old look at it.
So when people ask us to do custom orders, this is a classic example. We say, sure, we can do that, but sometimes it takes 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 tries before we get down what we drew on paper, what the customer's interested in, and what we had in our mind. So custom orders aren't taken lightly. If it's something we already make, it's easier to flow with it. If it's something completely out of the realm of what we make, this is what happens.
Yeah.
All right, that was cool, but the next one we're going to do ABC. And then as artists, what we always do is we hang on to all those prototypes. And then you walk in the back room and you're like, oh my God, this is so cool.
Yeah. Remember a little bit.
Here, you turn around and show your shirt. Does it look like flames?
You know when you're at a campfire and a piece of wood pops out and
Yeah.
it just has like a solitary little flame? That's what it looks like.
The one flame.
That token
A
flame.
kindling flame.
So are you just knocking it off in the inhaler?
Yeah, I'll just pop it in there. With a little bit of agua.
Which one are we going?
Number 4.
So the trick too here with the water is to make sure it is a good temperature, that it's enough water to break off, but not so much it will create a crack.
And the neckline's a little precarious too because I didn't want to tighten it down too much. I wanted it to be
And it's thick.
kind of wide so that I didn't have to cut as much later on. Well, let's see. I'm going to grab the bonking stick. Yep.
Oh, beautiful.
All right.
Break off.
Yeah, I'll dunk it in water.
Came out nice.
Pretty good. I mean, it would have came off cleaner if it would have had a tighter line, but we didn't want a tighter line, so.
And if you dip it in water, you can see the colors too.
Did that last time, but it's so thick, it's still not showing
Yeah,
the
that
true
bright
color.
orange is beautiful.
Pretty beautiful, all those micro fractures in the glass, too.
There's so many things that are cut and pretty in glass.
Poppin'.
Pop in.
All right.
So, experimental show in the new year, first one of the year. We are week number 1. We kind of keep track of our weeks here at the Glass Academy. So we're all on the same page.
This is episode 2.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 2.
Yeah, because remember we said Happy New Year on last one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the way the year fell. All right, this is week number 2.
All
I
right.
knew that.
Well, that was a, flamey start, second week through the year.
And Jake's just loving it. Can you contain his excitement? I'm dumbfounded by how good this is.
I've never seen you happier with something you made.
All right, thanks everyone for watching. We appreciate each and every one of you. We will see you live on the Gathering Point on Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Have a great day today.
All right.